Hi, it's Kate from the Sober School with your weekly dose of help and inspiration. And this week I'm in lovely Paris for a few days, doing a bit of sightseeing before heading out to the very pretty French countryside to chill out for a bit. Now I wanted to record this video today because I was thinking about how challenging alcohol-free living can feel when you are newly sober, or you're just thinking about it and you're going on holiday or visiting a country like France. So you'll just have to trust me when I say that alcohol-free living is awesome no matter where you are or what you're doing. You don't need a drug in order to have a good time here. I mean, just look at this place. It's stunning. I come to France a lot and I wanted to share with you why I particularly like being sober in this country. So first of all, not drinking means you're more flexible and you're open to new experiences. Travel is expensive and it's important to make the most of every minute. When you've traveled hundreds of miles and you've got things to do and places to see, then obviously you don't want to waste time being hungover or feeling less than your best. But it's not just that. When part of your brain is distracted by when and how you're going to start drinking, it really takes you away from the moment. You're not fully present. You're not being spontaneous or going with the flow or thinking about the sites you genuinely want to visit. You're just anxious to ensure that you build in time for drinking. And that's crazy really, because when you come home, no one is going to ask you what you had to drink. They're going to want to know what you did and whether you had a good time. The second reason I love being sober in France is that you get to really appreciate your food. Now, I'm a real foodie and there are lots of nice things to eat here. And I, for one, want to really savor them and not be distracted by alcohol, which is a substance that numbs you and dulls your taste buds. It makes you less able to appreciate good stuff like great food. And when people say to me, "Oh, but I love cheese and I can't imagine having it without wine," I always say, just keep an open mind, because I think you're going to be surprised what happens to your taste buds in sobriety. You get such an improved sense of taste. And under this video, I'm going to post a link to a pretty cool article where the author, who's actually a restaurant critic, makes a good argument for why you really don't need wine in order to enjoy a meal. He says it's just a convenient marketing myth created by the wine industry. Now, what I'll say is this. I used to be a big wine drinker. I used to really love it. But nowadays, when other people so much as breathe wine fumes onto me, I just think, yuck. I love smelly cheese. I love all that stuff. But wine holds zero appeal for me anymore. The third thing I love about being sober in France is that you have so much more energy. I reckon the best way to explore a new place is on foot. And when I'm traveling, I love going on walking tours. I've even done running tours before. It's such a cool way of seeing an area and really getting to know it. And if there's a popular tourist attraction that I want to go to, like this one, I always get up really early to try and avoid the crowds and miss the rush. And that is something I would never be able to do hungover. The fourth reason I love being sober in France is because of the church bells. What can I say about this? They just love church bells over here. Where I live at home, I only ever hear church bells on a Sunday, but in France, they seem to ring out several times a day, every day, and often very early in the morning. I know if I was drinking, I would be so irritated by something like that, because I used to let stuff like that really bother me. But when you've had a good night's sleep and you're not moody and you're not hungover, noisy church bells actually seem quite quaint and just part of the whole travelling experience. The fifth and final reason why I love being sober in France is because I know I'll come away with much better memories. I love taking photos, and I'm sure I will take lots whilst I'm here. But to be honest, once I get back home, I'm probably not going to keep looking at those photos. In fact, I can bet I don't even get around to printing them out. So it's really going to be my memories of this trip that are going to count. I mean, for part of this holiday, I'm going to be catching up with family who I haven't seen for a while, and I definitely want to remember that. Alcohol robs you of your memories because booze is just such a blunt tool. When you're using alcohol to blur the edges of life, then you blur a lot of other stuff as well. You dull the highs as well as the lows. Alcohol comes at a very big cost. So I'm Kate B. Wherever you're watching this, please scroll down and leave me a comment. I'd love to know how you're feeling about this and whether you might just consider leaving booze behind on your next trip. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon.